Welcome, Class 9. I am again here to continue the chapter People as a Resource. We have already done the meaning of people as a resource and how can we make people asset from liability. So it is very important for us to know the factors on which the quality of population depends. The quality of population depends upon the two major factors, that is education and health. The more the education, the better the quality. The healthier population are able to contribute more towards the quality. We have already started the importance of education, how education helps to become a resource for the country, how it increases the ability, skills and knowledge of the person. In the last lecture also, we have done the importance of education. Now further, what we are going to study is the provisions made by government in the field of education. Provisions, the steps taken by the government, the facilities given by the government to improve the educational facilities. First, there is a provision made for providing universal access, retention and quality in elementary education with a special emphasis on girls. Please, students, listen very carefully that there is universal access. Government focused on universal access. That means it should cover all the population of the country. Retention and quality in elementary education. Elementary education refers to the basic education. Basic education is your up to class 5th, when a person is able to read and write in at least one language. So the government focused on universal access, that the education should be available to all and all should retain. It should not be the case that the children are admitting into the schools but they are not retaining, they are not continuing the facilities. And government emphasized more on girl education. Secondly, there is also an establishment of pace setting of schools like Navodaya Vidyalaya in each district. There is an establishment of pace setting of schools. Pace setting of schools like the government schools whose quality is like private schools. They are competitive enough that their quality is same as the best education given by private schools. After this, the third step taken was vocational streams have been developed. Vocational streams, vocational courses are the courses in which a student or person is earning and learning at the same time. Suppose we are doing a mechanical course and at the same time we are using that, applying that mechanical knowledge and we are earning. We are learning some kind of practical work so that we can earn at the same time. These courses are called vocational courses. By government, the vocational streams have been developed so that a large number of high school students can get occupations related to knowledge and skills they are learning. The fourth one is very important, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan is a significant step taken by government towards providing elementary education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. It was initiated in 2001 with the objective of educating all children between the ages of 6 to 14 years. And the government at various levels, central, state and local governments, worked together in achieving this goal. Along with it, bridge courses and back-to-school camps have been initiated to increase the enrollment in elementary education. Very attractive courses and various classes like crafts, music, etc. were taken or were organized for them so that their enrollment and attendance increases in school. The sixth one is midday meal scheme. We have already read about this scheme, that provision of food to children. Midday meal scheme has been implemented to encourage the attendance. They come to school just to have food, and it helps to retain the children in school, and it improves their nutritional status also. These all were the steps taken by government. Government has huge spending on education, and the expenditure done by the government on education has been continuously increasing since independence. And undoubtedly, it resulted in positive outcomes. Literacy rate represents the percentage of population who are literate. Now children, please listen. Literate meaning that how many people of the country can read and write. Education is much more than literacy. When I say that a person is literate means just a person can read and write in at least one language. So when we talk about literacy rate, here you can see a graph. It is showing the literacy rate from 1951 to 2011. And you can see here the graph is going upward. 3 categorization has been done. One is blue, pink, of white color. The person represents the average of male and female here. On an average, what is the literacy rate in the country? For example, in 2011, approximately 75% of the people of the country were literate. So due to the efforts of the government in the field of education, the literacy rates, which represent the education level of the country, are improving, and we are moving towards development. Literacy is not only a right, it is also needed if the citizens are to perform their duties and enjoy their rights properly. A person is unaware about the rights he is having. How will he able to enjoy those rights? So it is very, very important to at least read and write for every human being. This is what we have seen in the graph just now. The literacy rates have increased from 28% in 1951 to 65% in 2001 to 75% in 2011. And within the literacy rate, there are certain variations. Look at these circles. First, literacy among the males is nearly 50% higher than females. Because of the difference in attitude towards males and females in our country, the literacy among males is nearly 50% higher than females. Second, literacy rate about 50% higher in urban areas as compared to rural areas. As we know that rural areas are villages and urban areas are cities and towns. So in cities and towns, there are more facilities available for education than in rural areas. So when we compare these two areas, in urban areas, the literacy rates are more. Literacy rates vary from 96% in some district of Kerala to below 30% in some parts of Madhya Pradesh. Again, there is a variation among the states. There are some states like Kerala. Kerala has 96% literacy rate. It is the highest among all. And in some parts of Madhya Pradesh, the literacy rate is so low that it goes down at 30% only. Only 30% of the people knows how to read and write. And after that, the last topic is the 10th plan and educational goal. Now, what is this 10th plan? Children, you must have heard about the 5-year plans of the government. Very important. You don't have to go in detail, but you should know about this. The 10th plan, since independence in 1950, our government set up a planning commission, and in that planning commission, the government made 5-year plans that in these 5 years, next 5 years, we'll some goals and we have to achieve those goals, like how many number of colleges we have to increase, number of hospitals we have to set up, like these. So likewise, first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, in the 10th 5-year plan we are going to study what was the educational goal of 10th 5-year plan, because it had some things which were not given importance before that. It focused on higher education. Earlier, this plan, government spent a lot of money on education and it focused and emphasized on the elementary education or the basic education. But in this plan, the government focused and emphasized on the higher education of the age group of 18 to 23 years. Along with it, the quality, the adoption of state-specific curriculum, vocationalization, networking of the use of information technology. These all things were given importance along with the higher education. Like adoption of state-specific curriculum meant the syllabus, adoption of syllabus according to the state. And vocationalization, learning and earning at the same time. And networking and use of IT. As you know, that information technology has much more importance in today's world. So it is very important to provide the knowledge of information technology in higher education. In 10th plan, there was also a focus on distant education. Distant education means you're studying without going to educational institute. You get yourself enrolled in the course, but you do not attend the classes. You sit at home and study. Distant education is provided by so many reputed colleges in our country. So we have seen the focus on education in this video, and I'm ending the video here, and we'll take up the next topic, that is health. And we will see the importance of health and the provision made by the government in provision of health services.